Hello everybody, and thanks for taking the time to tune into this webinar here today. Just to start things off a little bit unconventionally and something topical. So today is Singles Day. I'm not entirely sure that everybody knows what this is, but it's the 11th of November and it's the biggest day of e-commerce online annually. Last year alone, on one day, Alibaba did $38 billion in sales, okay? And the entire number for China, according to the LA Times, is about $60 billion. Okay, so here in the West, we're very focused on Black Friday as being the biggest day of the year. To put things in perspective, last year, Black Friday in the US was 1/8 of the revenue done in China on a single day. Okay, so the message here this morning is basically that things are happening that you may not even be aware of that are much more larger than what we perceive to be the normal right now. And you might be asking, what does this have to do with wealth management? Really, the context here and the message for the morning is that COVID-19 is changing everything. I believe that in years to come, they will be referring to 2020 in the same tones that they refer to the Industrial Revolution or the impact of cheap air travel. And in my perspective, COVID-19 is a digital meteorite, okay? And it's absolutely disrupting traditional businesses. There will be massive winners, but there will also unfortunately be losers. And it's necessary that businesses grasp this reality and transform rapidly. Forbes has estimated that e-commerce, online commerce alone in the US jumped 50% in April. Okay, and you can see the metrics here. It's absolutely profound. And if we look at Statistimetrics, okay, this is the quarterly share of e-commerce of total US retail sales for the last 10 years. And basically, the level of growth in Q2 this year was 16 times faster than traditional. Okay, so we've achieved as much growth in a quarter now because of COVID as was achieved in the past 16 quarters. Okay, so this is quite stark, and really it's an imperative call to action that businesses need to actually embrace this reality and transform rapidly. Okay, so the digital new normal is certainly an omni-channel normal, and if you're wondering what omni-channel is, it's every touch point that your customer experiences, whether they're discovering your service or interacting with your business. So it could be something they do on mobile, it could be something they hear or do on social networking platforms, it could be something they do on their desktop, it could be meeting you or an influencer face to face. So it's a massively complex journey with multiple touch points. And again, just to narrow the lens very briefly, if you just look at it through the lens of as the channels being smartphones, mobile, or desktop, in 2019, 58% of search or traffic happened on mobile, okay, but 37% of purchases happened, okay. And if we look at desktop, the inverse is true, less traffic, but actually more purchases made on desktop. So impulse purchases are happening on mobile, considered reflective purchases are happening on desktop, okay. So coming back to the context of wealth management and the financial industry, the question really to ask is, what is your client's journey or your client's experience? Certainly, it's a human journey, okay? They're human beings at the end of the day. They're people just like you and me, and it's certainly an omni-channel journey. So it's likely some sort of a life event, some sort of a trigger. It's a conversation with somebody, a family or friend, or a personal influencer. They're clearly searching on Google. They're probably accepting cookies from some of the websites they visit, and suddenly they're getting freakily targeted on Facebook or other social networking platforms. They lose some work on desktop because this is a very important life decision that you make probably once. They're contacting you. They might talk to an agent or an advisor. They might not like the conversation. They'll go back, they'll check the reviews online. They'll try some competitors. They might meet you in person, and then they may end up going with the person that their best friend told them that they're using. Okay, so crazy, non-linear, quite erratic journey, and it's impossible to map using traditional research approaches. Okay, so if you're looking at Google Analytics, you're looking at something that looks like this. Massively confusing. I've never been able to figure out these journeys. They tell me really that I think I have a problem, but I have no clue why. You might try to go to focus groups to figure this out, but really in focus groups, what you're doing is you're getting a bunch of strangers into a room with a two-way mirror where they're a little bit paranoid about who's on the other side. And in reality, what they're doing is they're talking about a memory of something they may have done months ago. So it's post-rationalized. It's, they may not be telling you the truth because they don't want to talk in front of a bunch of strangers. And they're out of context. So, this is some extra data, but really it's not personal, it's not private, it's not intimate, and they're really not telling you what they're thinking in the moment, and what really influences their decision. And in reality, they're probably being polite. Okay, so what we do is we kind of fix this problem. So Indemo is a mobile ethnography platform, and what we do is we help you do research remotely. We help you connect with your clients or your customers or your potential customers, so you can research, their needs and their behaviors, their aspirations. Okay, you can do exploratory, foundational, qualitative research with us. We can help you map their journeys. Okay, and we can certainly help you understand their customer experience when they're engaging with your service or your offering. Okay, we do this for many different brands across many different sectors, across many different demographics. Everything from, 8-year-old kids talking about what they watch on TV and what apps they use to 70-year-old patients talking about the quality of healthcare. How we can support you is in any of the following functions within your business. So you probably have a marketing team or a consumer insights team. We can help them do foundational research or augment their segmentations. You certainly have a product team and product managers or user experience designers and researchers. We help them do user research remotely, whether that's usability or human-based research. We help you map journeys, and whether that journey is a path to purchase of a potential customer or client, or the journey and experience of an existing customer or client. So these are all the actors we would engage with within your organization to help you improve your understanding of your customers and clients. You might be wondering, who do you need to understand? So the various personas in the orbit of wealth management are probably, retirees or somebody nearing retirement or somebody thinking about retirement in their families, right? They could be the parents or they could be the children. They could be the next generation of customers. They could be the advisors in your network of brokers. They might be your employees. You might be trying to understand your employee engagement, your employee experience. So these are all the different actors in the orbit of wealth management that we can help you research. Okay, you might be wondering, what can we help you do? You certainly want to understand people's goals, their aspirations, their fears around retirement. Okay, you need to build out your customer personas and your segmentations. You need to validate your segmentations. You might need to understand how people arrive at your inbox. Okay, what is their purchase journey up to the point where they actually contact you and field an inquiry. You might be wondering, what's their user experience on your mobile websites or actually on your desktop websites. Okay. And you certainly want to understand your customer experience in terms of how do they engage with you, what's their experience in terms of the collateral, the information, the reports you send them, and their interactions with the people in your organization that support them. Okay, how do you find them? Typically, you would either reach into your CRM and invite some of your existing clients to take part, or you may engage what we call a qualitative recruiter to go to market and basically screen and put out surveys there to screen potential research participants to match your customer persona. So you may screen them by age and location. Are they retiring? Are they near retirement? Are they retired? You may have another demographic about the children of potential retirees and the recipients of wealth transfer. You might want to find them. So a qualitative recruiter will help you do that. And what they do is basically they will offer these research participants incentives to take part. Okay, so we can work with you, or the qualitative researcher can work with you, and they can advise you as to how much you should pay these research participants to take part in, mobile ethnography, remote qualitative research studies, to give you the information you need. When you find these participants and when they register, what they're doing is they're using our app, the Indemo app. And essentially this is a bit like a private one-to-one Facebook between a researcher and the research participant. And what they're doing, the participants, your potential clients or existing clients are doing, is they're keeping an interactive digital diary of everything they're doing in relation to your research topic. So it could be screenshots of websites they visit. It could be pictures of, them standing outside your offices. It could be notes of them writing about their thoughts on a particular topic. It could be video where they, emote about their aspirations or fears about retirement. It could be a screen recording where they're, showing you how they're stumbling around Google or stumbling around your website, trying to figure out information on, A, who they should be talking to, and B, how to reach these people, and C, what is your service offering. Typically it works on smartphones, so it's always on. You get to remotely walk in their shoes. It works on iPhone and it works on Android. Okay, one particular capability we have, which is really, really powerful, is what we call mobile screen recording. So with mobile screen recording, what we can do is we can task your research participants, your potential clients or existing clients, to start the screen recording using Indemo and then go to Google and do a search. Now we've muted the audio on this video just for this presentation, but essentially what this is a video of a potential client browsing Google for the first time to figure out about wealth management firms in the UK. And what you're starting to see here is they're scrolling slowly, gone a good way down the page. They didn't engage with the advertisement for HL. They went straight to Financial Times. It's a trusted source, very old website, not secure. Browse around here a little bit, clearly didn't get the information they needed. Jump back up again. And then now what they're going to the Business Insider, another trusted source, and they're kind of stumbling around here. So if you're looking at, again, going back to that metaphor of Google Analytics, what you're seeing on Google Analytics or any other, quantitative analytical package is just these kind of Tableau visualizations of journeys that basically tell you what you already know. You have a problem, you're not converting enough, but you have no clue why. And really what we're doing here with screen recording is this layer of multimedia video that shows you the user experience or the customer experience of anybody trying to figure out if they need to speak to you or not. Now it's interesting on this page, clearly Hargreaves Lansdowne and St. James's Place are quite strong. If we watch this here for in a couple of seconds, actually, I think what came out is this concept. You can see this participant actually looking at robo-advice. So this is clearly a new term to them. They're highlighting that, they're looking that up. And now they're going out basically searching Google robo-advisor, they're jumping into Wikipedia and they're going from there. And the end of this journey really, I think, is this particular research participant ended up on Betterment, one of the fintech startups that seems to be disrupting the space. Okay, it's incredibly powerful at helping you understand how people are engaging with you digitally. Right, all that information is collated and seamlessly uploaded to an insights dashboard that looks like Pinterest, but works like a private, secure one-to-one Facebook. So your researchers, who might be external consultants or internal team members, all get to see all this information with powerful filters and a beautiful interface, and they can see basically data from your research participants in real time as it's being uploaded. Okay, if they've got a question to ask, they can comment on the post of what your participants uploaded, and that sends out a push notification to the research participant. They swipe it, they can reply. So you can now have this dialogue that feels like a one-to-one private Facebook interaction with your potential clients. And in this way, basically, you're getting to probe what they're doing in the moment. So again, going back to the focus group mechanic, focus group is post-rationalized, where they're recalling memories. This mobile ethnography and demo approach basically is in the moment, where you get to interact with them now. So the behavior is instant, it's in the moment, it's very contextual, and their answers are fresh because they're literally doing it right now. What we can also do as well is we can, in customer experience or user experience audits and journey mapping studies, we can basically help you graph the highs and lows of their journey through any journey that they go on. So this might be, browsing online for advice, doing an initial call, filling out all those forms, doing an initial review, signing up, overall, talk about their overall experience. This is quite simplistic. I'm sure it's much more complex than this, but essentially we can show you the highs and lows of your client's experience, and think about this as a kind of an in the moment contextual net promoter score, where not only do they rate their experience when they're experiencing it, but they also give you a video or a screen recording that allows you to get behind that touch point and understand why it's a positive or negative experience. So this is incredibly powerful at quantifying experiences and also proving why the experience is the way it is, and showing you what you need to change in order to improve it. Okay, the power of this approach, just to kind of circle back on this, is remote. It's remote, so you can do this remotely now. You don't have to bring somebody into focus group facility. You don't have to fly somebody somewhere to meet someone. It can all be done over mobile. Okay. Secondly, it's in the moment, so it's not post-rationalized. It's actually happening right now. So if they're on your website and they're struggling, that's the truth that you need to embrace. If they're telling you that they interacted with one of your agents, they had a negative experience, and they do that 2 minutes after the call, That is the proof that you need to act. Okay, it's longitudinal as well. So it's not just a 90-minute interview at one point in time. A study in wealth management or in the financial services space could go on for weeks. So you get to walk in their shoes longitudinally for weeks. You get to go on the journey with them virtually. And basically they get to show you over time, organically and authentically, what they're really doing, again, in relation to any research topic you might get them to do. A couple of takeaways, right? A couple of kind of thought provokers. So, it's traditionally an industry of referrals and face-to-face meetings and handshakes. You need to be digital now. If you're not, above the fold on Google, you probably don't exist for the next generation of clients coming your way. Chances are they're entrepreneurs. They may not be coming from traditional family networks. They might not even know you exist. So they're stumbling around Google, and you need to be present here. Okay, not all search is the same. So if somebody's buying toothpaste 2 for 1, they'll make that purchase in a split second. If they're purchasing a mortgage or trying to find a pension provider or financial planning, they may take months. Okay, so search can be fast or search can be slow, and certainly in the financial space it is slow, and it's certainly omni-channel. Okay, if they're on mobile and if they're searching, your competitors are just the next tab on a browser, or they're a double tap away. So we routinely see consumers multi-banking. We see them multi-shopping. They may be shopping on Tesco and they may be shopping on Amazon and buying something on Amazon because it's 10 cents cheaper, and you know what? Delivery is free. Okay, so the metaphor of the double tap is really the fact that geography is history. Okay, so you're not meeting you face to face. They're not geographically constrained. They can jump on a website. They can compare you side by side with your competitors, and they're making split-second decisions. And again, if you look at this through Google Analytics, this is just churn. They've just abandoned. You don't know where they've gone. If you do this using screen recording, we can show you that they've actually double tapped and they've moved to a competitor. Okay, so it's that layer of video proof that goes on top of your analytics that shines a light on the blind spots in your data. Okay, what does the next generation client journey look like? To be honest, I think Donald Rumsfeld put it best. None of us really know. We may have our hypotheses, we may have our internal theories, but until we actually confront the reality by doing research with existing clients, potential clients, we're in a data vacuum. So it's time to get out of the office. It's time to fire up new research to figure out how your client personas have changed as a result of COVID. Okay, we're in a new normal. You need a new approach. So the old ways of doing things, surveys, focus groups, relying on big data alone, they don't work anymore. You need a new approach, and you need something that's contextual. You need something that's in the moment, very human-centric and brought to life in video. Okay, this graph is profound. The rate of change in e-commerce alone is 16 times faster than what it was last year. So this is an urgent call to action for every business on the planet. It's time for us basically to challenge every historical assumption, hypothesis that we have about our customers, about our business, about everything to do with it. So the world has been turned upside down. As I say, this is a digital meteorite. And it's time for you to again fire up some research to get some new, fresh, real-life data back into the decision-making process in your business. Certainly, for sure, you don't know what you don't know, going back to Donald Rumsfeld, but your customers will show you, okay? And again, are you going to rely on what they tell you in front of a bunch of strangers, or are you actually going to rely on the video that they're recording when they're sitting on their sofa at 10 p.m. at night, talking about their fears about their financial stability in the future, and basically how you can solve that, okay? So nothing brings consumer needs and consumer behaviors to life like video, and actually nothing beats video for getting leadership teams to act on these insights. So that's a quick overview of the power of mobile ethnography and Endemo in the wealth management space in the financial services industry. I hope it's been useful. My contact details are here on screen. It'd be great if you reach out to us, and we'd love to discuss your research requirements and show you how we might be able to support you and support your transition to the next normal.